Welcome back to the Baby and Car YouTube channel. Today we're doing our first review of 2026 and it is the Omoda 9. It is a 5-seat plug-in hybrid SUV and we are going to review it. We've got 3 car seats in the back and the double pram from Mother's Choice. So let's get into it. So if you're new here, my name is Jade. I am the founder of Baby and Car. I created this channel so that families can find a very easy to understand, quick family review of their next car. We also sell Mother's Choice, Maxi Cozy, car seats, prams, and accessories on our website, so you can head over there and I will leave a discount code in the comments below so you can go and get yourself your first item for a cheeky little discount. Now I love to start with the boot. So in here we have got the Mother's Choice double stroller adventurer. Now I am currently obsessed with this. It is a compact double pram, which I will show you. But as you can see here, I also could fit a July full-size extra large luggage in here. So it does give you plenty of space for your grocery shopping. Now, one little pet peeve that I have is that you've got quite a lot of space where the shade cover comes on, and when I had luggages or things in here that I just needed a little bit more space for it to close down here, I had to unfortunately take this off, which was super annoying, and it just kind of didn't really fit anywhere besides on the floor of the second row, which to me is a little bit annoying, especially when you're on the road and you can't just like leave it at home. But very tiny little pet peeve and not too annoying once you kind of can plan ahead. So as you can see here, we've also got 3 top tether points, and this is a perfect thing that I want to let you guys know. So every single car seat that we have and that is sold in Australia has this little plastic clip. Now I would give you, this is your sign to go and check your car seats have the plastic clip, and then on top of that to make sure that they are installed correctly. So they just slip on there, and what they do is prevent the buckle from coming undone. So as you can see here, we've got the 3 top tether points. Now one thing that I found really frustrating is that because this car has a sloped roof, that the visibility out the back, especially when you do have harness boosters or taller car seats for older children, that this is completely almost restricted my view. So definitely keep that in mind. If you can put the booster seats on the outer side just so you have a clear view from the rear windscreen, that would be great. You have got a automatic tailgate, and you also have on the key the button to open it here. I don't think we have. No. Cool. Alright, well at least it doesn't work straight away. You do have rear parking sensors here, as well as a 360-degree view camera, so you've got the camera up here. Now, you've got 2 ways to unlock the car, and this is one thing that I found really annoying with cars that do it, is it only has the finger touch unlock on the driver's side. So if you're on the other side putting your kids in the back seat, you either have to use the key or you have to come over to this side. But anyway, what I want to do is jump into the second row. So you have got cup holders here. They don't fit a 1-litre drink bottle, so just keep that in mind. These are the door handles. So they are a little bit different to like a traditional door. And then you obviously also do have the adjustment for the seat here. Now I thought that that was really helpful just because it's a lot easier than kind of bending down here to get anything. But yes, no window shades. So for window shades, we do sell the Maxi Cozy ones on our website, and you can shop those. I'll leave the link in the description below. You have got air vents here, which are really great if you don't have a rear-facing child, but nonetheless, definitely a tick there. In regards to space, I just managed to fit, so this is the Maxi Cozy Miko Plus baby capsule. It is their compact one. You definitely won't be able to fit the Miko 12 LX in here, but I've also got 2 slimline booster seats, so harness booster seats. So this is the Tuba LX from Maxi Cosi, and then that is the Mother's Choice equivalent, which is the Focus. Now, in regards to space, this seat is one thing that I would suggest. There is a setting in there when you open this door, the seat does move back. So we want to avoid doing that in any car that we buy. It is what they call like a convenient feature. What it actually can do is actually impact the rear-facing child seat in the back. So we want to make sure that we disable that feature, and I left it there so I can remind myself to tell you guys that. And we just want to make sure that it doesn't touch the installation of the rear facing. So just something to keep in mind. It is a setting in the settings, and just something that I recommend as soon as you pick up your brand new car and you get the car seats installed, definitely turn that feature off. Ow. Okay, so that was a bit dangerous. That caught my finger there. You got the same sort of setup over here, but what I did want to show you is you do have heated seats on the 2 outboard, and the climate controls here, as well as the fan here. You also do get very limited space in here, so I don't think you'd be able to fit an iPad, or if you will, that would pretty much be all you can fit in there. But as you can see here, I really like the Focus and the Tuba because they are quite compact, and as you can see here, they don't take up the whole seat, which is just a lot easier for kids to get in and out. One big thing is there is no hump here. It is going to be all clear and very easy for kids to get across, which is a big tick. And you also do have this massive sunroof here, which I will open up a little bit later in the video. Now, this is a plug-in hybrid, so if you've never heard of that before, what it is a combination of an electric motor and a petrol engine. And basically what it allows you to do is run a certain amount of your vehicle's power through the electric motor and the battery system, and then when you need some extra power or extra range, you have got the petrol motor as a backup. So a couple of my things that I do want to chat about is, so Omoda is part of the Chery group of brands. So they are a Chinese brand that is relatively new to Australia, especially under the Omoda badge. Now they do also own JQ, so this car is very similarly related to the JQ J8 in regards to size and I guess feature wise. I have had that car for quite a while, towards the end of 2025 and early 2026, so you can look at the full review of that shortly on babyandcar.com.au. and I have only lived with this for about a week, so all of our loans are about a week, and we test them for all different things. So like fuel economy, you've got baby seat compatibility, boot space, and just overall how they drive, whether they are safe, and obviously how the safety systems do work, because in new cars these days there are a lot of safety features that you might not be used to, and some of them are more safe than others, and some of them can be actually quite dangerous depending on how they are calibrated. In saying that, the Omoda 9, for the time that I have had it, hasn't had any issues like that. It drives really well, and because it's a plug-in hybrid, it's got instant power from the electric motor, so it has been actually really nice to drive, and it does give you a little bit of confidence on the road, especially when you're on freeways, and especially when you are just zipping around town and you just have that extra power there. A couple of things that I have not necessarily liked is the sloped design of the back. I know it does look nice, but from a practicality perspective, you do lose some of the boot space because of that. And that's been a little bit of an issue when I've had like luggages and stuff in here. Because of the sloped roof, I've lost a little bit of space there. The key is also quite annoying. It is, I think, all Chery keys, so Chery, Omoda and JQ. As you can see here, there is very little area to kind of connect this to the rest of your keys. I haven't managed to lose any of the keys just yet, but it is very easy, especially if you're running around and super busy and you tend to lose things. This key doesn't really connect to anything, which is quite annoying. But in saying that, also you don't need it to open the car in your hands. This car has a proximity sensor, so whenever it senses the key around it, it will open the doors. Now, one thing that is a little bit controversial is the door design. So as you can see before, it jammed my finger in there. That's the first time it's ever happened on one of these types of car door openings, but it is, I find it quite safe feeling, especially when I'm driving through like not so safe areas that people can't get in the cars unless the car is unlocked. But in saying that, do your research, because it has been proven during some safety tests and things like that with other cars, not with any of the Chery brands, that yeah, obviously because it's an electronic part of the car, if the car's electronics in the event of an accident fail, then it can be a little bit hard to open. Other things that I do like in the Chery, which I'll show you in a minute when I jump into the front seat, the infotainment system is relatively easy to use, and you do have things like navigation and stuff already built into this model. One thing that is slowly becoming my, I guess, my make or break test is whenever I have seats in the back like I do today that are blocking, I do like to have a digital rearview mirror. Now I know that that is probably something that a lot of luxury cars will have, and you'll see that in our reviews, but it is something that you need to keep consideration of. You do have a 360-degree view camera here, but I did find there were a few times while I was driving that I really needed to see out my rear windscreen, and the mirror was obviously being blocked by the car seat, especially if you have a kid in there. Then that's going to be a little bit of a problem. You do have a wireless charger here and your climate controls, which are a big tick. So I had the JQ J8 and everything was located in the infotainment screen, which I managed to get used to. Surprisingly, I thought I was going to really hate that, but managed to get used to it. But here you have the climate controls as physical buttons, which to me is a big tick. You've got plenty of storage here. And in the center console, this here I thought was going to really annoy me, but it actually is quite spacious here, and it does kind of give it a bit of more of like a luxury feel, so well done there. You've got two cup holders and just this extra little bit of space here, which I've just kind of put my breakfast for the meantime. You've also got some space down there, and one thing that really annoys me, and I always carry, my own fault, but I always carry short USB cords, but this one does have, I think, wireless Apple CarPlay. I will check and put like a little disclaimer at the bottom if it doesn't, but it is a USB-A, and the plug is on this side, so you're always going to have a cable hanging out here over the top just to be able to connect to your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which to me is a little bit annoying, but again, it's a Chery JQ Omoda thing, and I think it's because most of the cars in China are driver's side is here. I'm going to take you with me into the driver's seat. I'm going to say the cockpit, but not quite what we're looking for. The driver's seat, because I want to show you a couple of things. So first thing is first, we do not have a on button, so there is no button here to turn the car on. The car will open up the basic infotainment when you open up the driver's door, and it will automatically adjust your seat, as we can see here, and also your steering wheel, which is electronically adjustable, which is a big tick. And to turn the car on, you put your foot on the brake and car is now on. So this is something that is quite a electric car feature, so just something to get used to, but also if someone tries to steal your car, chances are they're not going to go very far because they don't know how to turn it You also do have, so this is how we change to drive, wait till it focuses, drive and reverse up there. And to put it in park, you just press this button. Now, I did find sometimes it gets stuck in neutral, so you really do have to make sure that like you're pressing it down. So now we're in drive, and then press it up for reverse. So you've got a 360-degree view camera, which you can change to look at the 3D view of the car, and it is super helpful. You also do have these front side cameras, which are really helpful. So I'll just put the car back in park. Here is the hybrid and EV mode. So as I mentioned here, this car is an electric car. Now, one thing to consider is that a plug-in hybrid is not going to be fully electric. It only has a small battery and a small electric motor, but it is perfect if most of your driving is going to be within, say, like 5 to 10 kilometers each morning. You can plug it in overnight, and most of your daily commute can be run purely on electric range. One thing that the Omoda 9 does is that it doesn't go below 20%, so it will always be able to operate as a hybrid, which will increase your fuel efficiency, but also I wouldn't recommend using this car as a hybrid because you're still carrying around that larger battery pack and the electric motor, and that's just extra weight that you should really take advantage of. So you should be able to charge the car at night. Now, you can do that just plugging it into a standard power point with the charger, and it will just charge overnight. Now, I'll put the charging rates up here if they are applicable from Cherry, but again, I do like the idea of a plug-in hybrid, especially if you are new to the electric space. You can start with a plug-in hybrid, which is just like a little step before you get a fully electric car. All right, on the steering wheel, you do have your cruise control options here. Now, the cruise control, I found it to be quite good, and the driver monitoring system, which is this thing here, it can be a little bit annoying. I'm somebody who weirdly like sits on the side when I drive because I like to put my hand here, and it just picks that up quite a lot and just kind of tells you that you don't have your eyes on the road. It's not just this car, it's almost every car, but just something to keep your consideration on during a test drive. And then over here we have got our different volume control buttons, but there is no button. Oh yeah, here, sorry. So this is the button. You can see the little green dot here. That's to answer a call and hang up a call. So you do have the call settings here. Now, if we click this button here and go up to the screen, you can see a few different settings here. So we're averaging in my last 50 kilometers about 6.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which isn't too great, but again, that's because the battery is quite dead. And yeah, so we've done on this trip 242 kilometers just while we've had the car, so that would be like your average weekly commute. You also do have a tire pressure monitoring system, so if you think your tires are running flat or anything, you have got the, it will tell you, and you can also see what they are up there. And then you've got a map. Now, this map doesn't connect to Apple CarPlay, which is really annoying, but anyways. On the side here, you've got your traction control system. Let me see if I can get you a better. Cool, your traction control system, hill descent control, and your camera. So if you need to easily access the camera for any reason, you have got a button to do so. On this side here, you've got the blinker as well as your wipers front and back. Open the boot. This is for your fuel cap and to adjust your rearview mirrors. And then this here is how you adjust your seating, which is very Mercedes-Benz like. You also can press this button here, or use the manual way to open up the door there. I think that's pretty much everything that we need to know about the car standing still. I reckon let's get on the road, let's have a little bit of a chat about how it drives, and then we can jump into some final thoughts. And yeah, just as a reminder, you can watch the video on YouTube, but it's also going to be embedded in our written review, which you can find on babyandcar.com.au. On there, it will have the car seats that we used and how you can buy them, as well as installation. So we offer car seat installation for Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, specific dates only, so you can jump online and do that. If there's a date there that's not available, you can send us an email and we can go from there. And we also do help with car buying. So if you need help to digest all of this information, or you just don't know where to start, I am here to help. You can book a 45-minute call with me and we will go through all your different options and book test drives. And then when you're ready to purchase, we have a whole team that can help you make sure that you get the best price for your car and get it delivered. Now, if you're based in Sydney and you buy a car through us, we will automatically include car seat installation with your purchase. And if you do purchase car seats with us as well, we'll also give you a little discount on that. So you can head over to our website, babyandcar.com.au, and I'll put all the links for everything I just mentioned in the description below. Let's take it for a drive. Okay, so foot on the brake, turns the car on. Now you can't put the car in, well, you can't drive. You can put the car in drive, it just won't go anywhere unless your seatbelt is on. So that has been a little bit of a topic of contention with a couple of people who have driven this car and gotten in it. But I find it fine. You shouldn't be driving without your seatbelt on anyway. So, but anyways. Cool, let's take it for a drive. I do want to try the auto park feature. I am here at a park that's got a lot of car spots, so I reckon let's try that first. It is definitely not going to be something you're going to use every day, but in tricky situations, or if you're just not too confident to park, the auto park feature in cars can be really helpful. So I reckon let's give it a go. I've just popped it in drive. I think I might go a little bit closer to the wheel. Let's go. Alright, so I've just clicked auto park. So it's already picked up quite a lot of spaces. I do want to try and park next to this car, so let's see if we can pick it up. Great. Start parking. Okay, doesn't seem to be. So keep braking and click start park. Okay, there we go. So release the brake pedal and the steering wheel. Pay attention to the surroundings. We've got no cars anywhere here. So it's just going a little bit deeper into the spot. It's gone pretty slow, which I think is really good because it's not going to make you too scary. We've got our hazard lights on and we're going in reverse. And so now, as you can see, we are going into the spot. Now it's gone in very crooked. So it's just about to fix itself up here. Okay, so now we've got a car coming. Okay, car's gone. Okay, so the car spot that it's found is not exactly in the lines, but it has parked exactly in that car spot. Yeah. Basically, it did a pretty shit job, but did it park in the spot, and did I feel safe while I was doing it? Yes. One thing I do want to mention as well is the side mirrors also adjust to point further down to the bottom, like the floor, so when you're in reverse, which is been very handy, and yeah, it's just another luxury feature at a very attainable price point. So yeah, first tick, auto park. I think we're gonna give it maybe like a 2.5 out of 5. Did the maneuvers very well, but I'm quite crooked in the car spot, so not ideal. But anyways, let's get going. One thing to mention is we do have auto sensing wipers, so if you see those in the reflection, that's what they're doing. One thing to mention is the brakes are very sensitive. Now that could be because it is a plug-in hybrid, which means that it is trying to brake quite heavily to recharge the battery. They are very touchy, so it's something to get used to. Throughout the week I've gotten used to them, and you know, it only requires like a tiny little touch of the brakes to be able to slow down. But also because it is a plug-in hybrid, you can kind of also take your foot off the brake and the car will slow down quite significantly anyway, because it's using that energy to recharge the battery. So yes. In regards to bings and bongs, because I thought we can chat about that while the blinker is on. This blinker is very standard sound across the Cherry range. So if you like this car or a JQ or a Cherry, you are going to hear that sound. So some people find it annoying. I've gotten used to it, but yes. Other things that I do really like, as I mentioned before, it does have instant power and torque because of the electric motor and battery. So it is going to be, there you go, the driver attention system has just binged because I'm looking at you and not the road. So there you go. It is, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it's very big difference to the J8, which doesn't have any form of hybridization or electric power at all. So if you are tossing up between the JQ J8 and the Omoda 9, and you do like going and having a little bit of extra power and a bit more of a smoother drive, recommend the Omoda 9. Apart from that, it's very comfortable to drive. The seats are quite comfy. Unfortunately, no massage seating, but the JQ does have that. So again, pick and choose your poison. But yeah, other things that I really like, which are again pretty standard across the Cherry range, are the built-in dash cam for the front. It is just like a nice touch that you just don't need to think about those things. You just pop a SIM card in there once you've taken delivery of the car, and yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, you're on your way, and it will start recording all of your driving, which is really handy. A couple of things that I do want to mention about plug-in hybrids, and if you're new to them, I think they are a great place to start if you drive very short distances and you can charge at home. They are going to be very cost effective, but I would suggest do your research, look at the energy consumption that the cars are saying. Don't just go off what the manufacturer says, also look at what the real world testing is. So from people like me or other people that review cars, look at what they ended up getting, because they can be two completely different things from a manufacturer versus a real world figure. And also don't get too caught up in a plug-in hybrid saving you money if you're going to go for a very expensive plug-in hybrid. So there are cars that their plug-in hybrid versions are 10, 15, almost $20,000 more expensive than their petrol or diesel counterparts. Do the math and make sure that it is going to work out for you. and make sure that you are going to be able to get a return on your investment. You do want to be able to purchase a car and look at the long-term ongoing costs, and that's something that we do in all of our written reviews. We'll let you know the servicing costs, maintenance, insurance, and also your warranty, so how much you can claim, as in like the Omoda and JQ, for memory, they're 8 years warranty, whereas if you're looking at a car that potentially only has 2 or 3 years warranty and there may be some reliability issues, that's obviously something you're going to have to factor in onto the ongoing costs of the car, as well as fuel consumption. So for example, with the JQ J8, and the reason why I keep comparing them is because they are very similar cars, and chances are you are going to be looking at both of them at a dealership. They will sit side by side next to each other under the JQ Omoda dealership umbrella. The J8, when I had it, I was averaging around 12 litres per 100 kilometres, which is almost what I would get in a V8 Nissan Patrol, which is not ideal at all. In saying that, it was really hot while we were driving the car for the 6 weeks or so that we had it, so we constantly had the air conditioning on full blast, and obviously like the cooled seats and everything like that, so we were using a lot more fuel, but still 12 litres per 100 kilometres, and it only took 98 octane, which is just not ideal, especially when you are trying to save money. So yeah, look at things like that, and we will also tell you in our reviews how much it will cost to fill up the car, and then how much you can get out of the car kilometres wise on average, based on our driving and what our trip computer says. So obviously yours might be slightly different, but yeah, all those things we definitely tell you to keep in mind. Now we have got a ebook that you can download, and it will go through everything a first time mum needs to know before they buy their first car. I'll put the link in the description for that as well. So if you are looking to buy your first mum car and you just need a little bit of extra help, aside from the 45-minute call that you can book with us, you can also download this ebook, and it will basically work through all the different options and really explain everything from different powertrains, so electric, plug-in hybrid, petrol, diesel, look at the different car seat types, and it will give you things that you can actually print off and write in there as well. So, and you can take it to your test drive and have a checklist of everything that you need to ask, as well as everything that you need to test. So it's a one-stop shop for everything. It is completely free, so you don't need to spend a cent on it. And I'll put the link in the description below, and you can download that. Other things to note is noise outside. It's not as cushioned or as like noise cancelling as I would have liked, and a lot of the like top surfaces are kind of like this. I guess you can kind of call it soft touch, but it's not really. So yeah, that obviously doesn't really help any sound get absorbed. It just kind of bounces around. I often thought that one of the windows was open when I was traveling on a freeway, so that kind of goes to show the noise impact. So that would be something that I would suggest when you're on the test drive, is just to have a look if the noise is too loud for you. I review a whole range of cars, so obviously I'm quite susceptible to the different types of cars and how much noise comes into the cars. So for you, this might be completely fine and you won't have an issue with it, but definitely something to check out. Other than that, it drives really well. It is fairly easy to use once you get used to the infotainment in regards to like additional settings that you might need to find, and basic climate controls you've got down here, but additional climate controls you will have to use the infotainment screen for. Other than that, I think it's not a bad car. I think Omoda and the Chery brand in general is doing some really good things and bringing some really affordable competitive cars to market. I would just say before you buy any car, jump on Facebook, join an owners group and ask any of your questions that you do have to owners of the cars. And also if you are looking to use it as a family car, jump on to our socials at Baby and Car, and you can also have a look to see a lot of the time when we post our reviews, we have owners also commenting their experience of the car as well. So you can come and have a look at that over on our TikTok and our Instagram, and sometimes on our YouTube shorts. We're going to start doing that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I am going to wrap the video up here. I wanted to keep it nice and short and just basically tell you what you need to know, and in our full written review, which will be live when this video goes live, again I'll pop the link in the description, we go into a lot more depth, so you can read that. This is just meant to be I guess everything that you need to know before you buy, but yeah, other than that, make sure that you like and subscribe. If you do have any questions about the Omoda 9 or any car that we have reviewed, you can definitely pop a comment in the comments below, or you can send us an email, info@babyandcar.com.au. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to have a new video every week, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and we'll see you then. Growl. But back to the car. As you can tell, I sometimes go on like tiny little tangents, but all under the same thing. I actually need to figure out where we're going. There's a car days. Our first review of 2026, and it is this, the Okay, now the thing is getting very annoyed at me that I haven't looked at the screen. This car does look really nice on the road, and I'm not normally someone that would buy a white car, but this white I do quite like. Alright, we made it. Hey babe. Alright.